Be careful who you share your account details with. If you know that the person you are dating or married to is financially irresponsible, don't give them access to your finances. They will ruin it. It is financial irresponsibility on your own path. If I know that somebody robs cars, I shouldn't give them my car to keep because they will simply rob it. They will run away with the car. That means I myself am irresponsible if you do that. I'll tell you a story. But before I tell you the story, you need to know that people are coming from different backgrounds. Before you marry, imagine a man marrying a lady of 25 years. The lady has done 25 years without the man. She's coming from 25 years of experience somewhere else. She has spent 25 years trying to become somebody else. And then she sees a man and marries him. You know, the mistake most men make is to open up their accounts to their wives when they know that this is not the kind of woman that is financially responsible. Some ladies are the breadwinners of their family, and then they open their account up to the husband, knowing that this man is, number one, financially impotent. He can't make money in life. Highest he can ever do is salary. You know, but you as a lady, you are making more and more money, and then you create a joint account with him. Now he has access to the whole funds you're saving. One day he's going to do something stupid that will ruin you and your family together. Part of financial intelligence is knowing who to commit the resources to. Even when you're about to die, you should know which of your sons are better positioned to manage the resources of the family when you are out there. Go and read about what happened in North Korea. The guy that is the president of North Korea now is not the first son. The father knows the one that is more, positioned well, better trained, and have the better character to become a leader. When I was entering school the first time, boarding school, I was about 11 years old. My father took me to the bus park. Meanwhile, we've gone through the market, we've bought some provisions and stuff, everything I needed to get to school with and stay in the boarding school. It was actually my first time of staying away from my family, but I could do it. That was what I kept telling myself. So when the bus was about to move, public transport, my father begged the driver to wait, give him extra 2 minutes, and all the other passengers were shouting on the driver, let's leave here. But the driver kind of understood. So my dad ran into the market and bought something in black nylon, stacked it up, about 4 of it, and ran back to the bus and gave it to me through the window and thanked the driver. So the driver drove off to school, When I got to school, I opened it. It turned out to be sardines, sardines, canned fish, canned tuna. So I ate it and everything in school, but when I got back to school later on, some months later, I was asking my father, why did you stress yourself so much to buy sardines for me? I never asked for it. And honestly, up until that point, I've never really tasted it in life. It was not something that formed our menu, food menu, a diet at home. But it was nice, My father explained to me that when he himself was my age and he was in boarding school, this was shortly after the war, all right, that there was so much poverty in the land because our people have just finished fighting a war. Everybody was poor except for a handful of families, especially those ones that were able to escape the region during the war. So in school, these families that were considered rich would always give their children those sardines. So when they are eating it, they were using it to oppress my father. The thing used to pain my father that, geez, he can't afford this. So when I was going to school, my father wanted to revenge on life that he can finally afford it, and make sure that his son doesn't go through that. Even though the actual sardine wasn't a big deal to me, I'm not somebody that is personally oppressed by things, but as I grew up more and more, I could understand. My father was coming from a background, and that sardine stuck in his mind for decades. That is the way anybody you are meeting, anybody you are marrying is coming from a background. Some people come from so much poverty that all in their mind is the day I'm going to get money, I will travel to Dubai, I will be on top of the Burj Khalifa, I will swim in the pool, long swimming pool. That's their idea of wealth. The day they lay hands on your money, even if you are the husband or the wife, once that money gets to the point that it's enough to afford that trip, they will take it and go for that trip, irrespective of whose ox is God. irrespective of the cost on the family. I'll tell you a story. There was a lady, a man married a woman, all right? Meanwhile, he has a child from another woman that he didn't marry. So the child, he's keeping custody of the child, but that son had a heart problem. So he married a second wife, and he had a joint account with the second wife. And they were saving money, working extra jobs, saving money so that he can use that money to go and do a heart surgery, pay for the heart surgery of the boy so that the boy will survive. When the money got to a certain point, that second wife took it and used it to go and do BBL, big nyash. She doesn't care about the man. She doesn't care about the boy. And that money, the man was putting more of the money, like 80% into the account. She doesn't care. She took it. There was another one that took out the money and used it to buy a house in her name. Before the man could find out, he has been financially destroyed. The woman bought a house in her name, her own name. This is not just woman. There was a man that used over 33 million naira that he and his wife saved to go and do sports betting and lost all. And this is money they have been saving like 5 to 7 years, working hard. And this kind of people, they are usually not the breadwinners. I'm sure that 80% of the money in that account was from the wife. So as a wife, you are making more money than your husband. You should know whether your husband is smart enough to handle that finances. If he's not smart, don't give him access to it. I understand there are many positive reasons why people keep joint accounts. For instance, if one spouse dies, the other spouse can have immediate access. And of course, it helps them to save for the family, for rainy days. But it's not everybody you can save. You can't save with an idiot. A stupid person would do what a stupid person does. That is the stupidity 101. If once you discover that somebody is not financially responsible with $1, don't commit $1,000 to their hands. There are boys and girls that grew up together. While you are growing up with your siblings, you know that this particular one is not good with money. He might be a good brother, a good sister, very respectable, righteous, honest person, dependable, except when money is involved. Now you are abroad, you are sending him money to use it to build a house for you in the village. You know what I'm talking about, right? Part of creating wealth is knowing who to commit it to. You need to understand your spouse. As a lady, you need to know whether the man you are dealing with is financially smart enough to handle the wealth you're about to keep in his hands. If he's not, don't commit it to his hands. There was a boy that he was dating this girl. They were not married. So working hard, the girl was financially impotent, zero. All right. So this guy wanted to establish the girlfriend, though he has not married her. So he sent her 650,000 naira to secure a shop, and stock it with products so that she can start selling. At least she will have something doing. 650,000 naira some years ago in Nigeria is a whole lot of money. Today is equivalent of $650. It's still a huge money in Nigeria, very huge. Where the minimum wage in Nigeria is about 33,000 naira. So now imagine a boy sending 650,000 naira to a girl he's dating, and not just sending, he's investing in her, so she can have a stable source of income, probably before they marry. Do you know what this girl did with it? She went and used it and bought a wig, Bone Straight, the trending wig at that time. I don't think the wig still trends now. Who remembers when Brazilian weave-on was trending? From there, they went to Peruvian weave-on, Indian weave-on. Now, they are not attaching countries to the name of weave-ons again. They have used up all the countries. Now it's Bone Straight. She went and blew all the money to buy Bone Straight. Financially irresponsible. I know the funny thing, she could be a great girlfriend, potentially a great wife, a great mother of the kids. But once money is involved, her brain flats out. So you need to know how people behave with respect to money. You need to know that money changes people. The faster the money comes, the more they change, the faster they change. People are coming from different backgrounds. That girl that went to do BBL or the one that went to buy Bone Straight, this is something she has been thinking of all her life. This is her idea of success. Finally, when the money came, she couldn't resist the temptation. And I'm telling you, you as the breadwinner, don't tempt the devil. The devil might just fall for it.